Hello and welcome, I'm JD. Yesterday we saw Dragon take on 4 players. He is going for a rematch, so we will cover this. He is playing 12,000 points on the Alliance side, versing the OSP. We got a few people spectating in here, and so we will be able to see this and see how he goes. Alright, so here we are, Dragon on the Alliance. He's playing on Team 1, so Team 2 this time is the OSP in orange, blue for Dragon. I wonder if he's bringing the exact same fleet or if he's changed it up from yesterday. We could see that the OSP has deployed in force around point B. They've also got a ship off to the left-hand side. Nothing... Okay, yep, there we go. So Bear, Lightning McQueen, it's likely a clipper straight into point E. And we've got a few ships maybe up around point A. Dragon, now last time he didn't cap all the points, so he has got something into point D. He's got 2 ships low, so they could be missile ships. And then he's got a number clustered up the top. Likely a good idea in order to mitigate if there's any containers. Use that PD support together. He should be able to take a C and D quite quickly and be in a good position to cover A. Alrighty, lots of fleets here. So Dragon, VLS, and Beam ship by the looks of it. He's got another one, another Beam ship as well. He's got 1, 2, 3 light cruisers, all with Mark 64s. They'll be great for the 250mm RPF against the OSP small clippers. And then he's got, from memory, 4 of these bullseye ships for locked, and then 2 jammers apiece, and they've got size 1 VLS 46s for the anti-missile missiles and chaff. There, once again, he's bringing his Ocello. He's got 450mm on that. He's also got 2 plasma monitors, or cargo feeders, monitors. And then he's got a small clipper as well, which is the Lightning McQueen, straight into point E. Pope Crusader. Over up here, he has a spotting monitor with an LRT Bloodhound on the nose, great for providing accuracy, and then rocket clippers, all on the Careful Crusader again. Cuban Bowl, same deal as yesterday. A lot of different clippers here, all taking rockets. And Tom Ruler playing something different from what we saw yesterday, or he wasn't in that game, I should say. He's got a lot of T30 cannon, so 100mm. He's got AP, Grape Shot, HEC. These will be able to brawl a little bit more, take out some of the smaller things. Definitely be able to get in nice and close against some of the light cruisers and just be able to take them out with mass fire. He's also got an early warning radar sitting back, which should be able to work in tandem with the LRT. Early shots out from Dragon. He's trying to get an alpha strike onto some of these clippers who are moving into point E. You can see that I think these were taken out by point defense. Grape shot being fired by the looks of it from the Atrip roll by Tom Ruler. Strike there on midships. Strike there on midships. One's a little bit of damage to... let's have a look. A little bit damage on the magazine. And over on the right-hand side to the DC and to the magazine and the Citadel CIC. Mining again by the Noble Cave right onto point B. So Dragon will need to clear those if he does want to push point B. And the Poseidon, whilst it's getting some early shots here onto these line ships, he is taking return 450mm fire and plasma from Bear, which will over time diminish the light cruiser. Light cruiser does have the ability to dodge, and you can see that the T30 fire here, whilst some of it's hitting, some of it's missing, penetrating just past of it. There is a huge amount of output that you can see from these T30s. So whilst they're slow, once they get within that 7,200 meter range, they definitely start to do some damage. He's using a mixture of a radar and a whiplash. Not so much focusing on speed, but maneuverability here to dodge around, and that seems to be something that a lot of players are doing at the moment. 250mm fire, trying to target some of the clippers, not really doing too much damage on them. You can see that most of Dragon's fleet has been detected. You can see by the little yellow dots here. Likewise, a lot of the OSP fleet, particularly the shuttles, undetected. So the 2 beam ships with the missiles, supported by 2 light cruisers, making a move onto B. Underneath, you've got the shuttles from the Careful Crusader, again moving around to cap point D. Nothing back here to protect point C and point D. We've also got some from the Careful Crusader also positioning as well. You can use the side of these terrain pieces to cover your shuttles, and then once you orientate, slip around and burn straight into combat as they've been forgotten. Point D taken, as has been point B, and C and D for the Alliance. So a fairly even game at this point in time. Last time, or yesterday, Dragon really pushed a lot of his, and yesterday's video I should say, Dragon really pushed a lot of his ships together really quickly and closely. The fact that there's a lot of clippers behind here may actually once again see the fact that the rockets end up sort of taking him out. He is being able to be covered by the 2 light cruisers here. However, once again, the rockets making a lot of top-down attacks, taking out that VLS, taking out that stone wall. The next wave will be able to likely penetrate. 250s here have taken out the Oily Mule, the Womb, Stone. I hope these are AI-generated names or game-generated names from the naming list. Will be taken out as well, but ultimately, I think the Re has taken a huge amount of fire, with the firing arcs opening up from the Thunderclap, the Lightning Flame, and the Blinding Flash. Great naming names for ships. We'll be able to now get hits onto the Re. Kronos moving in, taking out that beam ship. Oh, sorry, with his beam, taking out that other ship, making sure it's dead, making sure that they need to come around here, really make sure that they are going on wide angles now to clear so that some of these mines getting detection on them so that they can actually provide some sort of degree of clearing. They are sprint mines, so they will move really fast when they do activate. Hera has been identified, not going to be as maneuverable as one of the light cruisers. You can see a lot of them are offline, even with a off target, even with a lock. They haven't really shredded as much. He does have a whiplash on here. 3 restores. A lot of rockets coming through. Missing. Whoop. Where are they aimed? They're all missing here. A couple clips onto the Poseidon. Nothing on the Kronos. So he must be aiming. Who's that? Careful Crusader must be aiming at Poseidon. That was a massive rocket volley. Didn't look like it really did too much damage. I have missed that. Let me know in the comments. Kronos hitting the Jaguar likely doesn't really have too much rockets left. Now you can see a lot of them are pretty much empty. And now that they're empty, they don't become a threat. The 100mm is not really going to do too much to the heavy cruiser, but are being prioritized onto the light cruiser. Probably a good idea to use AP to start with. At the moment, this ship here is pretty much okay. You can see some penetration, a little bit of damage internally, but not really enough. I definitely want to use AP to start off with. Second rocket swarm coming through, missing, just going wide. I think the heavy cruiser was the target. It has missed. You can see that there is not a lot of point defense coming off these 2 ships at the moment. A couple hits being on top of the Poseidon though, so just slowly degrading the fact that rockets are cheap, rockets are numerous, and you just need to be able to get some on hit, even if they are on target, even if they're not all there. Jaguar is probably dead. With all the micro that Dragon's doing, he should be switching targets, but it's just not happening. You can see that the Doki Story has, or appears to be, making a bit of a run forward. It does have its rockets still available. Let's come out to the left-hand side. Rockets here being taken from 100mm cannons. There was some AP hits definitely going on that one. Rockets over here definitely did do some damage. So the T-30s now using, like we said before, using AP, shredding the top. You can see that it's also taken some missile rocket strikes as well. Careful Crusader has found a target in the form of Apollo. Rockets on this target. It is a stationary target, so it should be crumped. There it goes, hitting the reactors, the drives, and the power plant. Does have 3 restores, does have 4 damage teams. Follow up with the second barrage, should take that out. You've got more rockets now coming in down here onto the heavy cruiser. Looks like it's going to be able to get some penetrating through. I don't think it has enough point defense in order to make sure that it is fine. Using its maneuverability to start to drift, and that's the purpose of the radar drive. The linear thrust definitely gets it moving when it is stationary. These ships don't want to remain stationary for too long with all these rockets. However, it looks like all the rockets will be expanded from these clippers, making them less of a threat now and easy targets for the beams. Zeus is fine, taking some T30 AP on top. A lot of them missing. Definitely does need to be locked, because you can see it here, it isn't locked. So get a lock on that target, make sure that they are able to provide some sort of fire control here. You can see that D and E has been taken. Points now swinging into the OSP favor as the focus is over on point B, but no offensive ships to be able to go take out and deal with all these small, fast maneuverable ships. Point C going to be taken by the Shelf of Margaret. Dragon not rushing in as much this time. Looks like he is sort of holding the mid ground, letting the rockets sort of come to him. See, a lot of them still have rockets available. Some of them have been depleted. The Re here still has 4 restores left, restoring all its thrusters, restoring all its drives, making sure that they're all healed. Beam's now taking out some of these smaller clippers in lieu of better targets. He is finding something. Some strikes here on to the Atrip roll. 5 restores, a couple things of T30 cannons going down, getting some additional hits. A lot of those now spreading damage across these components. A lot more cannons going down, ammunition being hit, magazine being hit, ammunition elevators. More T30 AP peppering the front of this light cruiser. Now this one has been pretty much stripped. If it can sit in A, as long as there's nothing else with offensive capability from the OSP, it will cap that. However, this clipper may be able to come in contest. It does have no offensive capability, but it may be able to contest A. The Zeus, just to give a look at it, has been able to dodge a lot of these rockets. He is taking some 230mm HE. We do lose 1 ship up there from the 2 line ships. Great dodging there. They've still got more. They've now got another 10 each. Is getting some of them. No, that one's fine. 11 restores, 17 crews. If he can survive this wave, he probably is okay, but he is taking top-down damage, ripping through the middle. You see he's gone from 11 restores down to 5. A lot of damage right across the center of the ships. Cannons, DC lockers down. He's also lost some of his cannons, so 1, 2, 3, 4 cannons. That 250mm RPF he's now lost that capability, so he's not going to be able to hit any of these clippers at the moment. Very slowly, not as much as he wished that he could. Beam ship's still in the middle, has moved down to A, or he did end up capping A, so that ship there can effectively stay there and just contest it. However, it looks like he may be turning off to move to E. That will result in A being handed over to the Careful Crusader and the OSP team faction. One of the line ships has gone down, has been destroyed. We can see some more missiles now coming out, hitting the theme and lent, and you've also got the beam now also playing into it. So this ship shouldn't be long for the world, but it will actually do a lot of damage. A lot of fire, basically destroyed. Just wondering how many more missiles does he have? Not too many. He is quite low on most of his ships. Probably got about 15 missiles left if I was to do some quick maths. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. And the 2 line ships in the middle have gone down. A lot of clippers still around though, so kiting around these clippers, even if you don't have offensive capability on any of them, is going to make it quite hard. And the fact that B is mine means you're not going to be able to clear it. Point A will be able to be taken out. You can see with the fact that Kronos is throwing some bludgeons down on to the burning glands, and they should hit. 1 hits. Should be enough to do a fair amount of damage and just throw it off. They do come back around, but don't find their target. And the Cronus should be able to turn around and put its beam onto target and destroy that. Looks like it's still facing upwards. He's not 100% sure that the Theman lamp has been destroyed, or he's focusing in another area of the map. D is being captured by the light cruiser. A was taken back by the Careful Crusader, as we said before. And a bludgeon here looks like it's going to try to take out some of these clippers, but I think that they're going to have enough point defense in the term of the 20mm slugs to get it. Zeus, otherwise, does have offensive capability, is going to sit on D, and is going to start to take out some of these clippers. The Ocellos and the monitors from Bear now have switched targets. They've finished off the Ray over there, and they are getting the HE onto target. It is locked, so they should have a fair amount of accuracy. There goes the Burning Glands, beam taking that one out. So Dragon moving into A, capturing D. He is just shy of 300 points behind. He does need to claw some of these points back. Now, point C is uncontested. It is contested. Something does need to get up here and make sure that is secured. And these clippers need to be destroyed as well. Otherwise, they will just keep on coming back. Halfway there for the OSP, 500 to 200. It's going a little bit better for Dragon this time around. He's not lost as many ships as early on, but he still is paying a heavy price. He has effectively taken out Tom Ruler, who is now providing basically a support function. Very important. He has been able to detect 1, 2, 3, 4 with his early warning radar. And he does have an LRT also focused down onto the Hades. So great vision being provided for the OSP team by him. Bear lost a clipper, still got his main combat fleet, but the Careful Crusader basically has all of his rockets now out and is now just being a menace running around the map. And, you know, whilst you may not be able to kill anything, is a vital thing, because he's contesting point C. He'll be able to slide back in on A. He's annoying over on point D, and he's also that's Cuban down on point E. So doing a lot of annoyance there. Cuban Bowl, however, still has a fair amount of rockets left, and will be able to still slip out and hit some of these ships that are degraded. Here we go. As I was talking, he is doing this. One of them slips up from point E, and with a rocket salvo at close range at a degraded ship, he's getting a fair amount onto target. Beam still working down here. Where's the beam? Still available. However, a lot of them now, only one restore, 18 teams left. Unless he gets that beam onto target within the next couple seconds, it's going to be basically lights out for this heavy cruiser. The beam, is destroyed. See from the smoke. And Cuban Bowl ship here still has no rockets, so doesn't have anything in there, but it will go down to point A. The Hades over here effectively crippled and is not going anywhere. We'll be able to sit on to point E. You can see that Cuban Bowl ship has moved off the Snow of Haley, so another ship or another capture point going Dragon's way, but a little bit behind.
The enemy is securing Zone Atlas.
Atlas being recapped by the Wash Jade. 250mm RPF from this light cruiser. Only has one gun left by the looks of it. We'll be able to slide back in, take point A, as point E is being captured by the light cruiser. Cuban Bowl is reactivating his clipper. Oh, and a couple rockets. Fuel line leak, by the looks of it, straight into midships. That'll take that one out. CIC is on fire. He's got a critical reactors over here. Power plant has been hit. Fuel line, reactor overload, and an atmospheric leak. It's going to make that harder to repair. And he'll be able to move just back in and recap that. As long as he has a couple rockets left, and he's maintained 2 rockets left. So he'll be able to take that one from Dragon. Over on the middle of the ship, point A. is going to be captured by the Clipper. And the mine layer's just holding in position, doesn't need to do anything else. Cuban Bowl with still a few Clippers up his sleeve. Doesn't need to actually go through and put all of these in the middle of the map. I think it's important sometimes to hold something in reserve, and I think Clippers are great for that response, and they also have that ability to respond with a bit of offensive firepower. I think they definitely work once they've you've got out there enough, and you've been able to degrade the enemy's point defense. You've taken out some of their restores and their restorative capability. You just slip a couple of those out and start firing.
The enemy secured zone Eclipse.
Kronos looks like it has repaired, getting a couple hits on to the Thunderclap. Sarissa's here, so we'll be able to be very good at taking out any of the hybrids still left from Dragon. Beam looks like it is turning onto target, and I would assume that he would be targeting the Ocello here. Someone's gone critical. We've lost the Hades to a reactor detonation. The beam turret has now been destroyed. One restore left. He's going for the VLS. He looks like he's still got some missiles there. He's going to ignore the fact that the beam is offline, although a restore is coming in on that one. One Mark 64 cannon left. It doesn't look like it has any ammunition. He's got no HE RPF, so he will need to either switch to HE or he'll have nothing. Do we have a magazine? Sometimes hard to find the magazine. Compartments. DC locker. Can't see it. Yep, magazine's gone, so and no restore. So this ship here has lost offensive capability. 700 points to 300 points. A much stronger position from Dragon this time. It's about half behind whereas before it finished quite quickly. The Clipper's absolutely destroying with the fact that he's having to deal with so many things to do at once. You can see here he says, I don't bring enough CLs for all these rocket shuttles. It's absolutely true with the fact that they can move laterally quite quickly with that Whiplash radar drive, and the fact that he also has then HERPF to destroy it. So you can see here that he's taken the same ships as he did last time, and against the same players, they've taken the same thing because they knew it worked. So he does need another 12k fleet, or he needs to find other people to play against. But, it's still a massive undertaking to be able to command this many ships, waypointing and everything at once. Overarching, what's happening over on Point D? Point D looks like it's these ships here are just trying to take out these Clippers whilst he maintains control of Point D. Point A has been lost, no offensive capability on the Poseidon. Bear Slayer being able to just move in and take that one. We've seen the 2 heavy cruisers now go down, but there's only 2 light cruisers, one severely damaged, one effectively out of commission, which is this one here, sitting on A, and then the Apollo as well, which has no offensive capability, just as a support ship. I think the fact that the first time when he played this first game, he was very aggressive, I think that would have put a lot of people off. Doing the same thing against rockets the same way around potentially cost a Dragon this game. I think when he came around to Point B, he did mash those ships here. There was already a sizable force that was sitting here ready to counteract that. I don't know if it would have been better to move or have some more dedicated sort of scout find where the enemy is. Obviously, it's easy to say this as someone who actually isn't playing this game. You can see that the OSP has a huge amount of awareness with their early warning radars and their LRTs. Rockets here now hitting the Apollo, taking that out. So they've, and particularly with the fact that these heavy cruisers have a large signature size, you can spot them very early, whereas the Clippers are very small, able to get there. If you don't have all those ability to detect them, the rockets will really, really get you. All right, so that's the game. You can see 800 points. I think it was like 300 points in the end. Rocket shuttles just doing so much damage. Let's find some of them from Careful Crusader. You can see, you know, just the fact that some of them do so much damage is just absolutely crazy. 100% accuracy. He did 4,000, 5,000 damage. If you've watched the last two games, you're probably thinking, you know, maybe rockets are a bit OP. They potentially are, but with one player who's got all of the ships at once, it can obviously make it a little bit easier for the rockets to land on target, especially for players who are experienced in bringing them. You know, Dragon had his attention split across multiple fronts, multiple ships doing multiple things, and if you're trying to micro those rockets as well, it can be quite difficult. So it'd be interesting to see if he was to rebuild this fleet now against the OSP, how that would actually go, and if he can do something different. Looks like we're going to do a third game, so we may as well. Look, I hope you enjoyed this game. Let's see what the third game for Dragon will look like, and then I'll record that one and put that one up as well. All right, thanks for watching and take care.